Well, part of the Obama administration's proposed federal budget for 2010 is $16 billion in cuts to some current federal farm programs. Joining me now with some insight into what the future may have in store for America's farmers from a policy perspective is OSU economist and Extension Public Policy Specialist Larry Sanders. And Dr. Sanders, there seems to be so much going on with our economy, yet the Obama administration seems awfully willing to jump right in, whether it be health care or whether it be something like farm subsidies.
Yes, and I can understand why a lot of people think that Obama maybe is not being well advised in doing this, especially folks in agriculture concerned about this and the impact on their operations. But I do think, given that we've been writing policies that have maybe been tweaked around the edges, but for the most part they're very similar to what we've had over the last 3 decades. And things inside of agriculture have changed dramatically: the level of technology, the level of capitalization, the type of diversity, how we do value added, and what's changed outside of agriculture with a much more global economy. I think it's probably a reasonable thing that we do consider stepping back and having a very serious discussion about this contract with agriculture between the American people and the good people in agriculture, and seeing if we want to continue to support agriculture, how might we do that to benefit the greater good and the folks in agriculture.
Yeah, and I can easily understand the resentment maybe someone in agriculture would have over some of the discussions about cuts when they see massive amounts of money going out that seemingly is going after things that are just almost like phantomware. You don't know where it's even going and what it's supporting. At least with agriculture, you have a commodity at the end of the day.
Sure. You know, you look at what the collateralized debt obligations, the securitization process that took place in the financial sector. It's almost, as you said, phantom. It's ghost work, and yet we're continuing to funnel money out with very little strings, but we expect agriculture to bear the brunt of many of these cuts, and that should be part of the debate to talk about the fairness of those alternatives.
Now, the former governor of Iowa and current Secretary of Agriculture, Thomas Vilsack, has been leading many of the charges for the Obama administration about some of these cuts. How is he being received in the agricultural community?
Well, I think it was a clear signal when Vilsack was selected that commercial agriculture, traditional agriculture, had won the battle behind the scenes, because there was lots of discussion about an outsider or a fringe individual being picked that was going to take agriculture in a very different and much more dramatic direction. And Vilsack is pretty much right in the middle of the road and very supportive of policies of the major farm organizations. Having said that, he is surprising some people by maybe being more broad in his discussions about biofuels, realizing that it's a mix, including cellulosic. Up until he came into that position, it looked like he might just want to push grain ethanol. He's talking about having a need for a more integrated approach to food safety and inspection. And up until now, USDA has very much resisted that, afraid that they would lose too much power to FDA and others outside of USDA. So I think there's going to be some surprises there. But when all is said and done, at the end of the day, he's going to be a friend of traditional agriculture, probably more than he is going to be an antagonist.
Now, I continue my conversation with Dr. Sanders on our website. Simply go to okhorizon.com and click on Value Added.